Hi butterflies, welcome to my garden. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And now let's get into the video. Hi everyone, it's your girl Calypso and I'm back again. Um by the way, before I get into my main topic of today, I would love for you, don't forget to hit the notification bell and always get notified when I upload or post a new video on my channel. So yeah, I wanted to talk about normal and what normal means, and because a while ago, maybe a few days ago or a week ago if I'm not mistaken, I I was feeling very dysphoric. And for those of you who don't know what dysphoric means, um, dysphoric is common with someone who is transgender, which I am, in case you didn't know. So it's one of those days where you wake up and you look in the mirror and you don't feel good about yourself. And you don't feel good about yourself, and then you see little things that remind you of the person that you used to be prior to transitioning. So I was just feeling very dysphoric, and I think I had a bad date or something. And not because he was horrible, there was just nothing there. So then I woke up the next day and I was just feeling dysphoric, and I was listening to this song by Cesar or Zar, I don't know how to say her name, and it's called Normal Girl. And that song hit me. It just hit me like a ton of, it hit me, oh my god, it hit me like a bullet. It took me to a place that I really don't like to frequent. So the lyrics is like, I wish I was the girl that you can take home to your mama, the girl that your daddy can be proud of. And I almost found myself shedding a tear. And even right now talking about it, I feel a little bit emotional because it got me to thinking about all the things that I kind of envisioned as a kid. I envisioned that, by now by now I would be sort of, married or married, have a house, have a car, all of these things. And it's not necessarily where I am right now. So it got me thinking like, gosh, sometimes I wish I was a normal girl, because it's easy to blame a lot of shortcomings that I've experienced on my gender identity. Like, oh, maybe if I wasn't trans, I would have probably soared higher. And that could be the case. I don't know, because this discrimination, trans misogyny, and other forms of discrimination is still very much alive and well. I'm not going to go really into all the aspects of discrimination that I've experienced, but it's still very much alive and well even in 2021. So I just feel like, okay, let's see, you have me, I'm black, I'm trans, and that's like, it's just too many barriers. It's like you wonder like, oh gosh, can I catch a break? And I wish I was just somewhat normal. And then as time went on, that dysphoria starts to fade a little bit, and then I start to think to myself, what is normal? By dictionary definition, normal means conforming to a standard, usual, typical, or expected. Notice that the key words here are conforming and expected. You could be expected to go to school and complete a degree or diploma. You could be expected to find a soulmate, fall in love, get married, start a family, have a white house with a white picket fence, travel around the world without any restraints, being financially stable or independent, being able to afford anything that you wanted, or expected to have a normal, successful, thriving career. Normal can mean different things to different people, and it's very objective, and it's very subjective. It's objective because it could mean it could represent something different to, it's an individual thing, so that makes it objective because it could mean a different thing to a different person at any given time. And then subjective, it could be based on culture. It could be based on experiences, lived experiences. Like what is normal in Africa might not necessarily be normal in North America or South America or in Europe or Asia. What's normal in the Middle East might not be normal in Australia. What's normal, like, so normal varies according to the subcultures and cultures and ethnicities and backgrounds. So therefore, the the term of the quote unquote normal girl, it makes me wonder, what is normal? You know, if I was in, for example, if I was in Saudi Arabia, the norm over there would be different from what the norm might be to Australia. So I think we need to deconstruct, or maybe we need to deconstruct normal, or maybe try to be a little bit more forgiving of people who throw that word around with reckless abandonment. Like, oh, why can't you just be normal? What is normal? Because your normal might not be my normal. Your normal could be, oh, you do the night shift. You go to night shift and you sleep all through the day. That's not normal to me. My normal is I get up in the morning, go to the gym, go to work, go to the gym, go to work, and come back home, have dinner, fellowship with my friends, and go to bed. So that's normal to me. That could be completely different to what someone else's perception of normal is. So therefore, I am the new normal. Girls like me, we are the new normal, because we exist and we're here and we're valid in our existence and our experiences and our subcultures within the umbrella. It's all valid and it's all normal. It's okay to be trans. It's okay. We might not be considered by general society as normal because our case to case is very unique, but normality and what is normal, girl, please, honey, please, we can find normal in every way. The way how I dress, this is normal to me. It might be too much to some people. Some people might consider this uncouth. Let's say in a more conservative area, like the fact that I'm wearing a see-through lace top could be uncouth to some people. The fact that I have a short leather skirt underneath this could be seen as uncouth or abnormal or not acceptable. But I walk down the streets and people are not staring at me because I look abnormal. They're staring at me because I look good and I look cute. And someone will always compliment me. Like, someone can always compliment me. It could be me, it could be you. If you're well presented, like, oh, hey, you look good, you smell good, But to the next person, I might not be normal. I might just be, I don't know, they could look at me as cheap and tawdry because of the way I'm dressed and the way I'm presented, By the way, I have this look on my TikTok account, so if you want to see the full thing, just check in the description box and for the links to my TikTok, and you can see all of that. So, but that's just a sidebar. Anyway, so my time will come, I do. So me wishing that I was a normal girl, or someone that, a significant other could be proud of, the girl that you can take home to your mama, my time will come, because eventually I'll meet somebody and I'll just be normal to them. I might not be normal to the next person or to his best friends even, or their best friends, but to this person I could be normal. Like, oh, that's my girl, and it's gonna happen. So in saying that, dysphoria is real, and I hope that it doesn't discourage you from your journey, as if you're trans or questioning or whatever. Even for the cisgender girls, I'm sure you all have days where you don't feel so good. You don't always feel euphoric every day. You don't always experience a sense of euphoria and a sense of happiness and contentment every single day, because that's not necessarily the norm of the human experience. See what I did there? Norm. Anyway, so the thing is, I hope it doesn't discourage you from your journey. I hope it's just one of those like bumps in the road that you get through, and you always come through on the other side, because it's all a transitional experience. It's not something that's gonna last. If you're going through it, just keep in mind that you're going through it. The key word is going through it. It's not a permanent experience. It's not a permanent state. You're not gonna get stuck there. you will go through it. The key word here is going through it. So that means there's a way out, there's an exit, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So in saying that, I hope you all have some form of encouragement from the words coming out of my mouth. I am no psychologist, I am no expert. I am just a person living the shared human experience and sharing my experience with everybody who is listening. So this is the thing that I also wanted to point out about experiencing dysphoria is when you feel dysphoric, it also helps to mentally remind yourself of why you started transitioning in the first place. And you also need to remind yourself and ask yourself, is it worth it? And yes, it is worth it, because I transitioned because I want to be happy. I transitioned because I wanted to feel whole and at peace with my body, with my identity. And I transitioned because it helps to also write these things down, because sometimes it's human when we get into that mental space of feeling dysphoric. It's hard to see, it's hard to really get a tunnel vision of a positive tunnel vision. So therefore it helps to write these things down, so that way when you wake up in the morning, you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, you know what, I'm doing the right thing, I'm on the right track, and I transitioned for the right reasons, and this is why I transitioned, and this is why it's worth it. My journey is worth it. So it also helps to also have those reminders, either in written form or in a mental form, if you're able to get to that space where you can block out all the extra noise or all the white noise, and you could just remember, like, this is why I transitioned, and this is why I'm on the right part, and this is why my journey is valid as a trans person. But it is important to mention that, and it's also, if you're a trans feminine person like me, I'm very protective of my feminine energy. It's the divine feminine, if you may. I'm very protective of it. So therefore, I am my own agency, and I am protective of that agency and that identity. So therefore, if I'm around a certain individual sometimes I do come across individuals who sometimes threaten that energy or question that energy, and I minimize my contact with them. And when I say with them, it could be co-workers where I have to work with this person every day. So I minimize my contact with them, and I minimize any verbal exchange or any verbal communication unless necessary. That way, it's just my way. I'm not necessarily being a snob. It's just me trying to protect my energy. It's just me trying to, it's just a form of self-preservation and self-reassurance. Like, okay, this person is not for me. This person is not a part of my ministry. This person is not a part of my agency, and therefore I cannot associate with someone who has a bad aura that could be threatening to my energy. So it helps to have those pointers and also be protective, fiercely protective of yourself. So that's another point that I wanted to also add to this subject of quote-unquote normal and feeling dysphoric, because I think they can be somewhat intertwined in a way. Feeling normal and feeling euphoric in a way. This is a little bit more serious today, but it's something that's common, it's something that happens. So being dysphoric, you're not alone. It happens. I experience it too. So I hope that my words have been a little bit encouraging to some of you, and yeah. So let me know if there's any other thing that you would like me to talk about or touch on in my next video. So thank you, and hope to see you next time. Protect your energy, be safe, and keep the peace and spread love. Mwah.